Hey everybody, it's Dusk, and welcome back to another Assetto Corsa replay. I filmed this back in July of last year, and that being the case, this was one of my first races, I believe my second recorded race on Assetto Corsa. So, funny story actually, this is a restart of the race session. First try, absolute carnage, cars all over the track, lots of smoke. So I'm sitting here getting ready for the race, and the lights will go green in a minute. Unfortunately, I get quite the poor start, and a few cars from behind, I think several cars actually from behind, come up and take positions away from me. Once again, with how volatile the last race start was, I try a little carefully, try to rejoin the track here, get knocked to the side with that absolute terrible re-entry attempt. Honestly, that was quite deserved on my end. But here I'm starting mid-pack, a little bit towards the back, I believe. Everybody's still trying to find their place. In front of me there's the yellow Ferrari, and there are two cars behind me. Once again, this being one of my first online races, I am very cautious, and a common theme here, as you'll see in my early gameplay, is very cautious, and I have a hard time adjusting to the car and track. So I end up braking late a lot, I end up braking too early, I oversteer quite a bit, and I'm quite hesitant to commit to those braking points. But as you can see there, two cars shove each other aside. I take two positions back, and once again, just braking way too early here and losing time. That pack of four cars now, just straight behind me on this turn. And kind of left completely defenseless here as they try to get through. So I missed my braking point here, so does the Mercedes, though fortunately, and I'm able to do a cutback on him and keep my position there. Though, unfortunately, we're coming up on this long straight, and so this pack of cars is going to stay on my rear. Likely at this point in time I was a little nervous and I didn't want to overshoot my braking point, so I braked super early. I kind of let the Mercedes go past me. He was obviously faster, and once again, this being my second ever race, I didn't want to get any terminal damage. I just wanted to get through a race as clean as possible. Unfortunately, with that said though, the Ferrari goes through as well. At this point in time, I'm just trying to stay as composed as possible as I miss my braking point again, and just try to keep a pace and keep up with the opponent in front of me. Though, once again, with my inexperience, unfortunately, at this point in time, I had done mostly, so I get bumped wide there, I had done mostly offline qualifying and hot lap practices. And once again, trying not to start any conflict with the players I'm racing with, I decided to let that Mercedes go through. He was obviously faster, and I think I ended up cutting him off on that inside there. But as you can see, I kind of take the corner at a very weird angle. Once again, I just can't quite figure out a decent racing line. And now I have another driver to compete with. I take the inside, taking note not to brake too late this time. And I just watch as he sails off into the distance. The morale is very low at this point in time. BMW parked on the right. Not sure what he's doing. It's not the most optimal racing strategy. Another car parked on the right. Another car parked on the right. Perhaps they were players who joined after the race started and were waiting for the opponents to pass. But once again here, I get a poor exit. The two drivers up ahead just gaining distance from me. But the good thing out of all this, I wasn't in last place. And while I did have high expectations for myself, I knew that, hey, this was only my second race here. Gotta start somewhere. Little bit of oversteer there. And once again, just because of my hesitance and lack of commitment to my corners, I get another car on my rear. And for the longest time, I haven't been able to take this corner too well. And so I just let the McLaren through there, and I still somehow get knocked off track. Quite embarrassing. But yes, only until very recently this year actually could I quite get that corner there. Although Monza was one of the tracks I raced on the most, gave me a lot of trouble. But as you can see here, I think that's the Ferrari that we started off with in the beginning. Got knocked off wide. It seems that the cars ahead of me kind of conglomerated, turned into a big group. There was a big accident here, so I seem to be gaining in the meantime. Once again, just overshooting my braking point, and there goes the advantage I had there. And another big mistake I made was not shifting down to first gear at the exit of that corner, so now I'm even more behind. In the middle of this quiet period of time, I did want to say that I know it's been about 3 months since my last legitimate upload with Dirt Rally 2.0, and a lot's happened the past 3 months, the entire year really. Turning 18, lots of new responsibilities, and instead of residing in Texas, I am now in North Carolina, studying college here, so lots of new things to take care of, things to worry about. But as I settle into college, I do hope to continue my passive hobby of making YouTube videos. And as you can see here, the McLaren somehow ended up in the barrier. I'm not sure if he had a collision with the other car up ahead, but I get past him. Once again, I'm on the inside. It's a little bit hard to defend here for me. I overshoot, unfortunately. He gets his position back. And unfortunately, this is a common theme throughout my early races. Wow, that was a mighty voice crack there. Oh my gosh. But a common theme is I'll set a good hot lap. I might get to 5th place, something like that. But my race pace isn't good enough, and as the race progresses, I'll just continuously fall behind. And especially with the very early races, I made a lot of mistakes. With my braking points, for example, a lot of collisions. You know, although I did keep a record of my racing career through storing these replays for the past year now, these aren't all of my replays. I've had countless races where I've just stopped playing altogether because I had terminal damage on my car. or there were times where I got frustrated with myself, and I ended up being in last place and couldn't make any time back. So although this is pretty bad, this definitely isn't the worst thing out of my racing career. And I think that's something I also took into effect finishing this race. It wasn't my best at all, and even watching it now as a Porsche loses it on the outside, getting another position there. Even watching this now, a year later, I can kind of see places for improvement where I know I've improved specifically at certain points. For example, I feel a lot more comfortable on Monza, and my consistency's gone up. I can't exactly remember my hot lap for Monza, but I believe it's in the 49 sections, whereas my lap I just made there was a 154.5 approximately. So I have been making lots of improvements. I have been getting more comfortable with the race sim overall. But it takes time, and as a perfectionist, that's one of the hard things for me. But continuing on here, unfortunately I have no idea what place I'm in. The race data didn't save that, but it is a pretty big race, 23 players. And I did pass that Porsche earlier. I'm on the tail end of this Mercedes. And it seems that I'm catching up with this small group here. But at this point we're at lap 6 of 9, and the race is kind of settled down at this point. Once again, a very lonely race here, as is a common theme for a lot of these. But continuing on with my desires for this channel, I hope to at least get an upload out, one upload a week of these replays. I think that's low enough of a barrier to not discourage me enough from uploading, and it's not too much of a time commitment either. And hopefully I can naturally develop my skills as time goes on. But it's at moments like these where a driver's very, very far away, I haven't been making any progress, that just really get discouraging. And so typically what I would do is quit after a while. There's some times where in some races I would make enough mistakes and be so off pace that actually I would be the back marker and the pole would pass me. And so, as a huge motorsports enthusiast, aspiring race car driver, it's very discouraging here. And while it's not much, you could see I'm not spinning out as much, there's not as much oversteer here. I am slightly getting better through each turn, lap after lap. I'm a little bit more hesitant, as I'm not used to the car, it seems. But I think that's better than spinning out after every corner. So once again, this McLaren spins out here, gets in a possible collision with the car up ahead. I pass again, and just terrible, terrible race line through that corner. Just gonna take it again. See how we brake here. So I actually do defend a little bit. I probably let off a little bit too much. I definitely could have stayed with him through that turn and maybe at least been in contention with that position. But Flynn goes through. It seems he was going to cover the inside. but at this point in time, with my inexperience, I had no idea what Flynn was doing. And so I just stuck to the outside, and we get through this corner fine. Once again, not shifting down to first, I lose a lot of time. Let's see. About... replay says about a 10th, but it might be more. It might feel like more than that. A little bit of a better exit on that corner. Second to last lap here. But yeah, along with the weekly uploads, I actually do have a video I want to release soon of live footage in real life of recent go-karting endeavor I went on in the Charlotte area. It was an indoor track. My first time ever going to a indoor track, K1 speed track specifically. Another car spins out there. I gain a position. A common theme is gaining positions, not because I'm faster, just because I can keep my car in the track most of the time. I go out a little wide there, but I managed to keep the car in shape. But yeah, hopefully I can release that video soon, and I'll likely have commentary over that as well. But that is the end of the race. I hope to release more videos like this soon. Thank you for watching. Take care.